clearance under pressure, in particular, an excellent final blue to win it on the black. So Jones is 8-6 up. One of our 5 debutants, of course, looking to become the first to win and knock out a seed. We've already seen Peng Junju and Wu Yize bow out, albeit playing impressively in defeat. And these are the vital stats. Luca Brecel still in the 90s, which is kind of the benchmark, really, 90% plus in terms of pot success. Long game okay, although perhaps not as good as usual overall at 58%. But by and large, it's been a very solid performance from Brecel, determined to stop the noise about the fact that he's not won a match here in 5 previous attempts. And he's very close now to achieving that, but he's still got to get the job done. And, well, they say the one you need to win is the hardest of all. He'll hope that's not the case this evening. Wonderful scene here on the second evening at the Crucible. The dividing wall in place, of course. Brecel, a picture of concentration as he looks to try and get this done before things get any tighter. Of course, if Walden could win this one, then the match is right back in the balance
Luca
again.
Brecel to break.
Well, that's a good break off, finding the bolt cushion with the cue ball. Had it been a few inches away from that cushion, Ricky Walden could have attempted this red to the right corner. It's safe enough, I think, but definite chance for Luca to play a better safety here.
Looks calm enough. Perhaps internally there are a few butterflies at the moment in Brecel's tummy, in sight of what would be a landmark victory for him. A reminder, the winner will play either Mark Williams, 3 times world champion, or the qualifier Jimmy Robertson, who leads Williams 5-4. They come back tomorrow at 2:30 in the afternoon to complete their match. Williams, who's never come close to losing to Robertson, having beaten him 9 times out of 9. And before today, he'd only conceded 13 frames in those 9 matches. Extraordinary, really. But Robertson has played well so far. It'll be fascinating to see if he can keep it going in the session that really counts, the one that decides who goes through to the last 16.
This is looking a bit pacey. And there's certainly a possible red on here for Ricky Walden to attempt into this right corner. There is risk attached to it, though. Not easy to play for a colour from this red.
Oh, you've got to be kidding. That is unbelievably unlucky. I mean, to pot the black from that angle off a good long red is, well, just rotten luck for Walden.
Takes some doing this, doesn't it? That's incredible. Now, the black will have been respotted. Is it covering a possible red to the right corner? I think it is, so no real harm done. I don't think Ricky would have been on a colour anyway had the black not dropped. Where's his cue ball going? Oh, he's okay.
Yeah, I think it would have been cruel on Walden to have left Purcell a potentially match-winning chance from that situation. So no damage, as you say, Dom, done.
The only thing is, though, Luke has been able to put that cue ball near the green pocket, so this left-hand side of the table is blocked off, and as you can see, this right-hand half of the table very congested. Just look at the position of all these reds. One mistake here could be very costly. That's a good one from Luca.
Another terrific pot.
One.
Right in the middle. And not too bad a kiss on the blue.
It just depends if he has any angle at all to work with. If it's dead straight, he may struggle to get nicely on his next red, but the yellow's okay as an alternative.
That looks as though it might be okay.
6.
Walden 10 from 17 from long range. Purcell 11 from 19, so very similar as regards long pot success. Positionally, the stats tell us
7.
Walden is a bit better, but he won't be thrilled to be below the blue with that one.
Oh, that's a poor one from Ricky. He'd be very disappointed leaving the cue ball there. I'm almost tempted to say that the right colour to play now will be the yellow. Be very difficult to get good position from the blue.
12.
He's left himself again a lot to do, Ricky Walden. This red is not easy, having to use a little mini butt as well on the back of his cue. Oh, well played.
13.
He's fighting extremely hard, Walden, as you would expect. Of course, he's a proven winner, 3 times ranking titleist, a former world semi-finalist. And he's going to make Luca Bracel work for this win. And of course, if he can win this frame, well, he'll fancy the job again. 1 down with 2 to play. It's game very much back on in that scenario.
$19. $20.
Since taking a 9-6 lead, Luca Bracel hasn't potted a ball since. 7 points in this frame came from that foul on the black from Ricky Walden.
$25. 26.
The 2 reds near that right corner, I'm not entirely sure if either of them pot, and that's a bit of a problem for Ricky because it's just making this break a little more awkward to make, because I don't think the black will pass
25.
them into that right corner, and I don't know if that red that's close to the black pots either.
26.
Short of pace here. Now we'll find out if that red in the black corner, because that would be the ball to play. I'm not entirely sure if either of them pot, and that's a bit of a problem for Ricky because it's making this break a little more awkward to make. I don't think the black will pass them into that right corner, and I don't know if that red that's close to the black pots either.
26. 32.
Short of pace here. Now we'll find out if that red in the black corner, because that would be the ball to play. It's green to sure if either of them pot, and position that's a bit of a problem for Ricky because it's making this break a little more awkward to make. I don't think the black will pass them into that right corner, and I don't know, having to play a red that's close to the black pots either. It could have been better.
26. 32. 35.
Short of pace here. Now we'll find out if that red in the black corner, because that would be the ball to play. It's green to sure if either of them pot, and position that's a bit of a problem for Ricky because it's making this break a little more awkward to make. I don't think the black will pass them into that right corner, and I don't know, having to play a red that's close to the black pots either. It could have been.
Wow, that was so close. That was so close. Is the brown going to come to his rescue?
Ricky Walden, 35.
Well, of course, if he can get to the red on the side cushion, sure play the plant.
That's a bit of a problem for Ricky because it's making this break a little
Can
more.
you get to it? There's your answer. Snookered.
Ricky Walden is getting some good fortune here at crucial times. My goodness me, how on earth has he managed to snooker Luca on the 2 reds there to the left? Now what's he going to play here? You can see he can pot this red near the right cushion. He's playing the heavy swerve though.
Foul.
Completely messed that up. Things are going wrong badly here for Luca all of a sudden.
Yeah. When you're 3 down with 4 to play, as Walden was, you need a combination of some terrific snooker, a little bit of luck, and he certainly had some there, didn't he, in covering the unmissable red had he been able to see it, but Brazil not even close to executing the swerve.
One.
Not ideal positionally by any means. 33 in front.
Sure.
Still 75 on the table, but things are a bit congested at the top end. In fact, make that 83 with the red in balk. But right now it just feels as though Walden has got the initiative again, even though he's precariously placed in terms of the scoreline. Just feel this match has still got plenty of life in it.
That's no good, really. Ricky's a very tall man. He's about 6'1", maybe even 6'2", but he may struggle to reach this red down the right-hand side cushion.
3.
That's another great pot from Ricky Walden. Important to not let this red in, because if it would have wobbled in the jaws, it could easily have come across and developed multiple reds for Luca Broussel. So that really was a great pot by Ricky. Well, I don't think that's worked out particularly well either. Maybe a choice of 2 reds here, but I don't think he can get on a colour from either of them.
Yeah, it's a pretty handy lead, isn't it? More than perhaps ordinarily a 41-point advantage would be in this situation, with a lot of awkward reds, a couple at the wrong end of the table for Broussell's liking. So Walden very much at the moment in charge of this frame.
Foul and a miss.
Luke has missed the edge of the red, which is not
Ricky Walden 4.
helping his cause, obviously.
From there, okay.
And invited to play from where the cue ball's landed.
Luca playing that shot in such a way as to make both of those reds available.
Purcell made that vital little clearance to the pink of 39, which put him on the cusp at 9-6, but since then he's not really had a look in. Walden riding his luck earlier in this frame in not leaving the red, which was hanging on the lip of the left corner pocket. Purcell failing to make the swerve. And Walden has gradually built this very useful lead in the frame he needs to make it 1 down with 2 to play, and then it really is game back on and pressure back on Luca Purcell.
Touching ball.
Well, that's a bit of a help to Luca. He may be able to just roll up to the green and the brown here, snooker the 2 reds in bulk and leave awkward queuing. Chosen to play up towards the blue, that's just as good. What's happened there? He's left this red on, I'm pretty certain.
Very close to the red, but it is potable. Walden perhaps just over defensive there, just trying to nurse what he's got, which is a 45-point lead, but in the event, no attempted pot from the Belgian. He's got a lot of work to do to get it back into this frame.
That red must have been absolutely dead straight. That's why Luca didn't attempt it. It was no good to him. Snookered all reds this time.
I guess inevitably the frames have begun to become a little more protracted, a little scrappier in recent times. The free-flowing snooker that's been a hallmark of the lion's share of this match for the moment has gone away. It's all about getting to 10. Walden happy to play the patience game in a bid to make it 9-8. He's firm favourite at the moment to do that with the position of the balls, with the lead he's got. Can Purcell change the dynamic in this frame and get himself back into it? frame already into its 25th minute, still 6 reds remaining.
So a third red finds its way into bulk. But this stalemate continues.
Yes, clearly Walden doesn't want to give Purcell the opportunity to get back into this frame. He's got a very useful lead. Equally, given the hole that Purcell is in this frame, he's got no real incentive to move proceedings on at any great pace, so that's why it is something of a stalemate at the moment. Something's got to give eventually, but it could be a while yet. And this is now the longest frame of the match, and clearly there's the potential for it to go a whole lot longer.
I think Ricky's made a mistake there. This red near the green pocket is cuttable. Missed it altogether though.
Very uncharacteristic of the match, this frame, but with so much at stake now as we reach the climax of proceedings. Both players very anxious not to make a mistake. That might be one from Luca Purcell. He's left this red. He's already 45 adrift.
One.
Oh, Ricky can only really just roll up to the green, leave a snooker behind the brown.
Ricky Walden, one.
So 46 points the lead. 67 still remain, so still plenty of life potentially in this frame yet.
Another chance, though, for Walden. A semblance of a rueful smile. Luca Brecel was looking very good at 9-6. But he'll be feeling a little bit queasy again, I think, at the prospect of 9-8. Walden's going to need another red to make the frame safe off his next colour. Not a frame that's going to live long in the memory in terms of its quality, but Walden doesn't care remotely about that. It's about closing the gap to 1. Trying to go round the houses to get on the red, but the green spoiled the party. But
8.
Just edging his way, isn't he, to the winning post in this frame. 54 in front, 59 left. That said, there is still some danger in this frame because the table now looking a little more inviting.
Ricky Walden, 8.
Yeah, absolutely. 54 the difference, 59 remaining indeed, and Luca could potentially cut this red into the left corner, but he needs to land on a fairly high value colour from it.
Oh, terrific. And that's the red he wanted. To put in 55 in front, 51 left. He's always bossed this frame, and he's been prepared to be patient, to wait, to apply the killing thrust. And with that pink going in, it's surely going to be 9-8, and this match is very much back in the balance.
7.
Brecel knows it.
8. Green ball.
Still in front, but only by 1. And maybe those memories of previous final frame deciding heartbreak might begin to resurface now. Ricky Walden turning the screw and keeping his hopes very much alive. Luca Brecel still leads, but only by 1 at 9 frames to 8. So 9-8 here on table 1. And over on table number 2, Jack Jones, the debutant from South Wales, is on the brink of victory against Ali Carter. He's 53 in front with 67 left in the frame he needs to win. He leads by 9 frames to 6. Undoubtedly, the frame before last was a huge one. Carter looked as though he was going to win it. Jones made a fine little clearance to steal it for 8-6, added the 15th with another sizable break. So, could be the first seed about to fall there. course, coverage continues on Discovery Plus and Eurosport 1 on the Table 2 action. The winner of that to play Neil Robertson in round 2 after Robertson's break-building masterclass earlier today. History made, 2 1-4-6 breaks in finishing off by 10 frames to 3 against Wu Yize of China, another one of our debutantes. Ricky Walden will be beginning to fancy the job again now. He was 6-3 down on the resumption, close to 6-5, then it was 8-5 and then 9-6, but he's pulled it back to just 1 again. And I guess the fact that Luca Brissell has had so many disappointments in this round before Dominic is inevitably going to be in his mind with these final 2 frames in the offing.
Absolutely. But having won the last couple of frames, there's pressure now on Ricky Walden because he can taste victory himself now. Having won those last 2 frames, it's a realistic possibility. Just the 1 frame between them. Match could be closer after 17 frames played.
Luca Brissell having just left the arena to perhaps compose himself. Can he get this done without need of a decider? Or is Ricky Walden going to take us the distance?
Ricky Walden to break.
Frame 18.
Attacking safety from Luca Brissell, always a risk of putting a ball near a corner pocket. And he has done. Now that's ordinarily not a bad flick from the yellow, but as you can see, there's a gap through to this red. Awkward cueing though. And my goodness, there's a lot of pressure on this. It's probably one of those pots that looks a lot easier than it actually is.
Particularly given the state of the contest. And he missed it by a margin. Now, Luca Brissell opted for the attacking safety. It might have backfired had Walden been able to roll that red in, but he hasn't. That's what he thinks of it. What can Brissell do? His first real chance since he led 9-6.
1.
Could have done a little more with the cue ball there. Ooh, had a look at both jaws. Is he on a red here? Certainly one above the black little pot, but
8.
cube will be going into the red, so no guarantee of being on a colour here. And he isn't.
9.
Well, hopes of a sizable break in the frame he needs. Quickly dashed.
The problem started with the first red. With the rest, he just left himself a bit more to do with the black than he should have done. Potted the black on the thick side, didn't get on the
Black.
next red properly. And now that's end of break, and he hasn't played that well.
Luca Brissell,
No,
9.
that was a little casual, wasn't it, from Brissell, and perhaps belying the frustration he was feeling at not getting on the black. But you can't afford to allow those disappointments to impact your next shot, as tempting as that may be. Even so, nothing straightforward here for Walden. Nope.
Oh, Phil, and look where he's left the cue ball. It's not safe.
Yeah, it was a very attacking shot he played, a very difficult red, and clearly wasn't played with safety in mind. So Pricelle gets another chance, but everything is difficult at this stage.
The only thing about this cut back to the centre pocket, the cube will be running freely. Luca won't know where it's going to finish. Needs a bit of luck.
One.
Oh, and he's had none. Had no run of the ball at all of late, really, Luca, has to be said.
Yeah, 2 chances already in this frame. Only 10 points to show.
Yellow ball. Luca Pricelle, 1.
This time he makes sure that he does play an effective safety, getting the cue ball glued to the baulk rail. Just putting that little bit of extra pressure on Walden's next shot.
This is a tough situation for Ricky. There's no safety shot that I can see back to bolt. So having to play a containing one down this end of the table. Nearly got the double kiss. May have left a red on into the left centre here for Luca to attack. Anxious moments. Ricky trying to ascertain where the red next to the black that he's about to play from will end up.
The applause is for Jack Jones, and the first seeded player has fallen here at the Crucible. Ali Carter, one of the form players of the season, German Masters champion, Players Championship runner-up, is out at the first hurdle. What a performance from Jones. 10-6, having led 5-4 on the resumption this evening. The match felt rather tighter than that final scoreline. A couple of very close frames that went Jones's way, and congratulations to him. Things are getting tense here on table one, and that is a terrific pot from Ricky Walden. He's on the comeback trail. Luca Pricelle took a 9-6 lead, resumed at 6-3 up. Walden came straight back at him with the first 2 frames of the evening. Pricelle returned the compliment to share the mini session before the final interval, and then when he pulled 9-6 clear with a really good break of 39, negotiating a couple of very awkward pots with balls on cushions, it looked as though he'd broken the back of the match in his bid for his first ever Crucible win. Remember, this is his 6th appearance here, Pricelle. 5 times he's fallen at this first hurdle, but Walden has just kept fighting. And now he's in early in this frame in a bid to take this match the distance. And Luca Brecel has already had a couple of chances, Dominic, early in this frame, but combination of perhaps the ball's not quite running his way.
3.
And the pressure of the situation has got to him a little bit.
Yes, it certainly has. He had a golden chance at the beginning of this frame. Played a red with the rest rather tentatively. Left himself a little more to do with the black from its spot than he should have done. And he began to run out of position and broke down very early on. So Ricky Walden, having won the last 2 frames, there's pressure on him now because he can also sense victory in this match. Will we be going the distance here for the first time at the Crucible this year?
Walden is a former world semi-finalist, 2013. He led Barry Hawkins 12-8 and then lost 8 frames in a row, which left him too much to do, losing that match 17-14 in the end. Of course, he suffered a debilitating back injury back in 2016, which threatened his professional career, but happily he's fit and healthy again. He had a very good season in the last campaign with 3 semi-final appearances. In fact, was knocking on the door of returning to the world's top 16 before being knocked out in the semis at Gibraltar. He's already come through a decider, of course, in the final qualifying round. A fantastic match with Sekshire and Nu. So he's battle-hardened for the closing stages of this one. And at the moment, he's looking the stronger player.
17.
What a chance this is to take it the distance.
Just look at the way these
22.
reds are all lined up for Ricky Walden. Pink is on the black spot. The black is potable, but you'd have to be right in behind it, and you could only really drop it in, so he's only really got the blue and pink to work with out of the higher value colours. Pink, of course, won't pot into the left corner, which is a slight problem. Short of pace, he's short of pace. Oh, he can't take the cue ball in and out of bulk now, Ricky. Will have to leave his next red from mid-distance. And under pressure, pots like this are certainly missable. He's got to take greater care with the positional aspect of the shot. Needs to get high on the blue. This time, that's too much angle on the blue. Can't just drop it in to be on a red. That's why he's refusing it, playing the yellow instead. It's amazing when you just begin to lose
31.
position, it tends to have a bit of a snowballing effect. The red's on here with the rest, but he can't avoid cannons on other reds, so he's not guaranteed to land on the pink here by any means.
.32.
12 out of 14 with the rest in this match, Ricky Walden. Their stats are pretty similar. Of course, it's Brecel who's been in front throughout this
38.
match. deservedly took a 6-3 lead at the end of the first session. Looked very sharp, looked confident.
39.
Walden started the stronger tonight. Brissell responded. And it seemed, when he went 3 up with 4 to play, as though most of the work had been done, but Walden has had other ideas. And he's playing with real intent now.
45.
Just needs 2 reds and 2 colours. And we'll be going the distance. And what a match this has been. But if Luca doesn't end up on the right end of this, I shall certainly feel sorry for him.
$46.
Twice Brissell has been denied in a decider in this first round. 2017, he was 7-1 up at one stage against Marco Fu, lost 10-9, and then again in 2019, a match he regards as his most painful loss here, pipped to the post by Gary Wilson, who went on to make the semi-finals before losing to eventual champion Judd Trump.
52.
So Walden faced with this plant to put himself 43 in front. With 43 left, and the simple pink will be enough
53.
for his 3rd consecutive frame.
$59.
And that surely sets the seal on
60.
this frame now. And Brissell will look back on the early chances he had. Two of them which gleaned just 10 points.
64.
And since he won that 15th frame, he's only scored 17 points. He's been shut out by Walden,
65.
who has monopolised the table and has grown in confidence and has all the momentum going into the decider.
$71.
Walden himself looking for his first win here since 2018.
73. $76. $80.
And how well has he taken this break? It's the way in which he's gone about it. He's looked so confident. No sense of any hesitation
85.
about his shot selection. Yes, the reds were inviting, but you've still got to pot them. And under this pressure, with a place
91.
in the last 16 at the Crucible at stake, this has been very impressive and rather concerning if you're sitting in Luca Brissell's chair. Because Ricky Walden has won 3 on the bounce. And you can hear the crowd. They're very excited about what's about to come, which is a 19th and deciding frame. So with the match on table 2 having come to a conclusion, the entire Crucible Theatre will get to enjoy this one-frame shootout for a place in round 2 and a meeting with either Mark Williams or Jimmy Robertson. They resume at 2:30 tomorrow afternoon, with Robertson, the qualifier, having edged the first session 5-4. Luca Brissell coming into this year's championship determined to end the noise about having failed to win a match in his previous 5 visits here, even though he holds the record as the youngest ever player to compete here, when he was just past his 17th birthday back in 2012 and lost to Stephen Maguire. But now he's got to do it the hard way. From 9-6 up, he's got to win a decider. Ricky Walden has the momentum. How significant will that be? Walden taking the opportunity to leave the arena. Brissell opting to stay.
Thank you. The deciding frame, Luca Brissell to break.
The handshake and the final break-off from the Belgian. Their only previous meeting here, of course, went Walden's way. 2018 10-6. Brissell edges the head-to-head 3-2, but it's all about this frame.
Well, I'm sure we can expect to see some nerves manifest themselves in this potentially very tense deciding frame. Now, is there a chance here to cut back into this left corner? There was. Well played. It's been a while since Luca Brissell has potted a ball as difficult as that. Problem is, where does the next red come from? Can he screw the cue ball from the yellow directly into the pack of reds, I wonder? He may have to try that. Well, the red directly above the black, I don't think is potable. Needs to be careful here if he plays to open the reds. Easy to knock a ball near a corner pocket. And he has. This cue ball needs to find the bolt cushion.
Brissell 3.
Ah, it's not bad, but the red's still on. Risky, though. I think that cue ball is close enough to the bolt cushion. Ricky Walden can't do anything except apply topspin to the cue ball, and that's no good.
Never been in front in this match, Walden. 2-0 behind, 4-2 behind, 6-3 behind, 8-5 and then 9-6 behind. Is he going to have the last word? He was up very quickly. That almost always means bad news for the cueist.
He was in such a predicament there, you know. He couldn't really play a safety shot. He couldn't pot the red the way he'd like to, because the cue ball would have landed right amongst the pack of reds there, and he'd been on nothing. Had to put all his eggs in one basket here, try and roll the red in and hold for the black. And I'm pretty certain that cue ball just drifted offline a little bit.
1.
So, for the second time in this deciding frame, Luca Brissell has an opportunity, but this one is so much better than the first.
Deathly hush comes across the Crucible. Everyone in this wonderful arena aware of what's at stake here for both players. Both three-time ranking titleists. Brissell won the Championship League at the start of this season, was runner-up to Mark Selby at the English Open, formerly a China Championship and Scottish Open champion, and UK finalist. For some reason, his game just hasn't clicked at the Crucible in his previous 5 visits here.
11.
Well, Luca decided to roll that previous red in and play for the black. I'm not sure I would have done that. The black is now on the pink spot. I don't know if it pots anywhere. He could have screwed back for the pink or the blue from the previous red and then played for this red and then the black would have been on its own spot. It's not now. And it's all gone a bit awkward all of a sudden. This isn't a good angle either on the red. Work to do here. Played for the black in the left centre. Couldn't have played it a lot better. It's a little missable. Well done, well done.
Yeah, that was a good deal harder than Purcell made it look under this kind of pressure. Could so easily have pushed that to the far jaw.
19.
So that's the first real mental test passed early in this break.
Well, Phil, when you consider some of the chances that Luca's spurned, this is very good from him at the beginning of this
20.
Crucial deciding frame. Now the reds are in open play. He doesn't need to play any positional cannons. Just all about keeping a good tight control of the cue ball here.
$27.
Confirmation of what Luca Purcell is all too aware of.
28.
Is he going to have the last laugh this time? Joe Johnson had never won a match at the Crucible going into the 1986 championship.
35.
And the rest is history. Who knows what Purcell could go on to achieve at this venue once he makes the breakthrough.
36.
Didn't leave himself straight enough on that previous red to roll through for the black, so he's had to draw back for the pink. He's played it well. I'm sure he'll be playing for the red just to the left of the main bunch, and he needs to leave himself as straight on it as he can. But he needs to be careful not to overscrew the cue ball, because the pink, when it's respotted, could be just in the way. So he needs to be a little careful here, but this is a great start for Luca in this deciding frame. 3 more reds and colours and he'll be close to the winning line. He had more angle on the pink than I thought he had. He was able to play for a different red. And now he's in A1 position
42.
here. And Ricky Walden's hopes of progressing to round 2 are beginning to fade rapidly.
Walden tried to just float in the long red. Ended up missing it by a distance
43.
to give Purcell this chance. Always comes across as a pretty laid-back character. I'm sure there's a lot going on internally right now for him. So far, so good.
Only just ran the cue ball through enough there, I think, for this red to left corner.
49.
Oh, this is perfect, and in potting this, it frees up a red to the right of it, to the opposite corner. This is brilliant from Luca Purcell.
50.
Well, given what he's been through since he led 9-6, and Ricky Walden has played so well to ask the question, this really has been impressively steely, but there's still work to be done. Walden has got to be mentally prepared in case there's a mistake from the Belgian.
Phil, you mentioned it. He'd scored 17 points in the previous 3 frames, and 7 of those were a foul.
57.
And it makes this visit all the more impressive, doesn't it? Because he'd been largely frozen out. The
58.
chances he had got had come to nothing very quickly. But he's been able to steel himself here. This is match ball. And what a match it's been. What entertainment for this Crucible
65.
crowd. It's by and large been a very fluent affair throughout, as we expected it would be. Most of the frames lasting around 14 minutes, and that's what Luca Brissell thinks about finally breaking his duck here at the World Championship, and goodness me, has he earned it. What a way to win. He's not fallen over the line, he's raced through it and shown that there's plenty of metal to go with
69.
his natural ability, of which there is plenty.
70.
I was certainly a felt for Luca Brissell had he lost this match as well. But finally, he's about to break his Crucible duck, and he deserves to celebrate this victory. It's a landmark victory for him.
The only thing that's been missing
76.
from this match has been a century.
77.
Ricky Walden played superbly in qualifying. That dramatic victory over Tepchiranu, getting him back to the Crucible. And he's asked a lot of questions
83.
of Luca Brissell. He's pushed him to the limit. And how brilliantly has the Belgian responded.
84.
A magnificent break of 84 to get the job done for the first time in 6 attempts. Luca Brissell wins at the Crucible. He's through to the round of 16 here at the World Championship. He's beaten Ricky Walden in an absolute thriller. Pushed to the wire, he responded under pressure to win 10-9.